Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam, and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Sauros by Tangerine Games.
Sauros is a trick-taking game, but you're not playing with cards in this particular one. You're playing with domino-like tiles. And when you get your trick figured out, whoever wins it, they are going to be gaining 2 of those tiles that were played in the trick, while everybody else is getting 1 tile. And you'll be placing those tiles on your mat. And where you place it is going to be very important because it's going to earn you points. And then you'll be passing your mats around at the end of every round. And everybody will play with the same mats because not all the maps are equal. Some maps are shaped in different ways, different arrangements. So you have to adapt your gameplay to the map that you have. Whoever has the most points after everybody has played on all the mats is going to be the winner in this one. Let's go down to the table where I'll show you how this one works, and then we'll come back and share our thoughts on it from a gamer and non-gamer. All right, I have Sauros on the table. Let me show you all this trick-taking dinosaur game. Now, I do want to make sure you understand that what you see here is prototype, so the final artwork, components, maybe even some of the rules might change once it's released from crowdfunding. That being said, what you have for components, you've got these mahjong domino-like tiles that are going to have etched painting in them. This is etched. You can feel texture to this, and it is painted, and the texture, the consistency of these are like domino mahjong tiles. They are kind of like porcelain, hard plastic kind of composite with them. They do have some weight to them, so they're actually pretty nice. But again, this is prototype, so I'm not 100% sure that what this will be when it becomes the final product. But if it's anything like this, it's really pretty nice. Now, as you can see, you've got a lot of them here, and they come in 4 different colors. You've got the yellow, the purple, the blue, and the green. And obviously, these are different dinosaurs. I am no dinosaur expert, so I could not tell you what these are. That looks like a Brachiosaurus, maybe? Brontosaurus? I'm not 100% sure. I do know that this is a T-Rex right here, and there are 2 of those in the game. These are going to be kind of like the win everything type tile in the game. However, they're not gonna do much more for you other than that. They're gonna win you the hand, but they're not gonna do much more than that. So you have all of these tiles, but you also have these playmats, and they are going to have different artwork and a different arrangement of these little spaces on them. So you've got this one here, you've got that one there. And this is really beautiful artwork, guys. These playmats are very nice. As you can see, they're etched around the edges, so that's pretty nice. And then there's this one right here. And in addition to everything you've seen so far, you are going to have these score tokens. Oops, bumped the camera there. You've got these score tokens, and you have a player aid card. And anyhow, what you're going to do in this game, you're going to shuffle all these up, and then you're going to turn them face down. And you will draw 7 of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw 7 right here. And yeah, I'll take the dinosaur one, or the T-Rex one. And then you would flip all of these over to their backside. I'm going to push them off to the side for right now. And these would be my 7 that I get to use, and I would stand them face up, and we would be ready to go. Now, all of mine are upside down, but that doesn't matter too much. And how this would work is, let's say that I am the start player at the very beginning of the game. You're going to play a number of rounds equal to the number of players, and each player is going to have their own playmat in front of them. I'll set this off to the side for right now. And essentially what's going to happen, I'm going to be the first player, and I would draw one of those tiles from the bank face. They're all face down, and so I would draw one and flip it over. And this is going to show all the players what is the trump suit. So in this case, purple is going to be the trump suit. That's all that I would pay attention to with the one that I draw randomly from the bank. Now, I would look at what I have, and I'm going to turn these around the other way so that you can see them a little bit better. Now, I would be keeping these hidden from all of the other players, but I would play any one that I would want. Now, I would be inclined to play something along the lines of the trump suit, maybe, but I don't have to. I could play whatever I want. What does it matter? Well, there's going to be a strength assigned to every tile except for the T-Rex tiles. And strength is important because essentially who plays the highest strength in the lead suit or the trump suit is going to be the one who wins that round more than likely. 9 is the highest. However, there are zeros in the game and a 0 will beat a 9, but a 0 won't beat anything else. So let's say that I do lead with this one, and I would show it to the other players. Now, this is the trump suit, purple, but this is the lead suit because it's what I have led with. And so what that means is that all the other players have to play a blue if they have a blue. Now, if they don't have a blue, they can play anything they want, but they would be inclined to play the trump suit because the trump would beat everything else. Now, if nobody plays a trump tile, then it is going to be whoever played the highest tile in the lead suit, unless it's a 0 and somebody has played the 9. Now, let's say I play this, somebody else plays that, and then let's say somebody else has no blue, but they also have no purple, so maybe they throw this out there. And let's say it's a 3-player game. So this is what we got here, and I would win that trick because I led with a blue 9, which means blue is the lead suit. This guy played a blue 2, which is not better than my blue 9, and this guy didn't even play blue, nor did they play purple, so their yellow one is essentially moot. It doesn't count for anything. So I'm the winner here, which means that I get to take my tile plus one of the other 3 tiles. And why would I take any particular tile? Well, that's going to matter based off of the color of the tile plus whatever this icon is up here. So maybe I end up taking this one because it has 2 eggs to it. The other players would take their tiles that they played unless I had selected one of theirs. Let's say that I took this bone right here. Then this player, no longer having their tile, they would take that trump tile that was flipped over randomly, and they would take that one and place it on their mat. So let's bring that mat back out here because this is where the mat comes into play. So as you can see here, there are these different etched spaces on your mats, and they're in different arrangements based off of which mat you have. At the end of every round, whatever tiles you have collected, you're going to place on your mat or one of your 2 reserve spots. Now, why would I play anything anywhere? Well, the first tile you play can go anywhere. So let's say maybe I place it right here. From that point forward, every tile that I play has to be adjacent to a tile that's already been played. So if I'm going to play this one, I either have to place it in one of my 2 reserves, or I've got to place it here, here, or here. Well, what I'm inclined to do is I'm trying to get colors to be in the biggest groups as I can, because the more that I have in a particular color grouping, the more points I'll get, as you can see based off of that scoring rubric right there. In addition to that, these icons up in the top right are going to be very important. Whoever has the most eggs at the end of every round will score 4 extra points. Everybody else won't score anything for their eggs. Bones are only going to score you points if they are adjacent to an egg. You'll get 1 point for every bone that is adjacent to an egg. You will get 3 points for every pair of feet icons. So let me get you a feet icon one. Here you go. Now, if I end up putting it all by its lonesome, it's not going to score me anything. I have to try to get these adjacent to one other foot. You want them in pairs, no more than that. And then teeth are going to score you 1 point if they are all by themselves. Otherwise, if they are adjacent to another tooth, as you can see right here, then that pair, or if it's a triplet, that's only going to get you 1 point for it. So you don't want them to be next to each other. You actually want them to be separated like so to maximize their value. And for every tile that you have over here in your reserve that is still there by the end of the round, it's going to be -2 points. So you don't want to put too many over here in the reserve. Now, a round is going to end when all players have played all of their dominoes. And then you would score the mats. And you would grab your point tokens based off of how many points you have. Now, the way the T-Rex is going to work, whenever you play a T-Rex, it is automatically going to win you that hand, but the T-Rex will be placed on your board and count for nothing. It won't get you anything. It's just going to clog up your board, but it guarantees you to win that hand, which means you do get to gain an extra tile because whoever wins the hand gets 2 tiles for that hand. And essentially, that's the game. Once you've ended a round, you'll clear your mat. You'll pass your mat clockwise to the next player, which means you would get a new mat to play with for that round. And this will continue until everybody has played on every mat that is in play for that game, at which point you'll see who has the most points, and that person will be the winner. And that is how you play Sauros. Now, let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this one. And we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on Sauros from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. Forgot to mention at the top of this video that this is coming to crowdfunding, so make sure to check out the link down below in the description of this video after you watch it to get all the details on this game on the campaign page. Now let's get to our thoughts here on this one. So Sam, this is essentially it is a trick-taking type of game. Not one that you're super fond of, that genre of gaming anyhow. I love trick-taking games. You're kind of lukewarm to them. But this is a different kind of trick-taking game in the sense that it is part trick-taking, but also part tile placement, which is something you really like. So what did you think about this one?
I did like it. I will say the tiles are more like mahjong tiles. They
are mahjong tiles. Mahjong domino type tiles. They're not
thicker.
They're not made out of cardboard.
Yeah. And I do like it. It's a sensory thing. It's not just cards.
They have some weight to them, and it's nice.
I think you could play it with cards, but
you could, but it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah. So I think that it just makes it different than some other games. We don't have a lot of heavyweight token games.
Now, some trick-taking games, they try to be very clever, and sometimes I think the stretch to be clever kind of muddies up the gaming experience and maybe makes it heavier than what a lot of people might prefer. I don't think you get that with this particular one. I think they kept it pretty simple as far as the trick-taking aspect, but where the cleverness comes in is in that tile-laying experience, where you got to be very thoughtful about where you're placing your tiles. You can only place adjacently to where you've already placed something, and the patterns on the mats are different. And I think that's really what shakes the game up quite a bit, or that the mats are wildly different. What did you think about that aspect?
Yeah, I liked that. I thought it, made it challenging.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to play with the same mats too, so you're passing those mats around, so there's never a sense of
I think that too. I think when we first started playing, I was like, well, how is this fair?
Right.
Because I thought you'd be stuck, but when you rotate the mats, and so it is fair.
Yeah, everybody has to deal with the same challenge at some point throughout the game, so I like that aspect of it. And I like the way that the trick-taking suit does play out in this game. It's very straightforward. It's not complicated. And I think it's an interesting enough thing that you don't know what the suit is going to be until the hand starts. It's not as though it's the same thing throughout the entire time. And it is random. So you don't have much of a say with it. You do have a way to kind of work off of that though, and I like that, and I like whoever is leading the trick gets to decide, well, what's the lead suit, classic trick taking stuff there with that, but it all sort of flows and works well. Was it one that you felt like you could sink your teeth into and understand how to do well in?
Yeah, I think so, especially after playing a round. I think you have to kind of get a round in before you feel confident. But I do think that on the mats and figuring out the colors and what needs to be next to each, it did slightly remind me of King Domino, just the color aspect of it when you're trying to get as many colors. Very, very simplified version of that.
Right, it's the tile laying classic, wanting to place things to get maximum.
I thought about while we were playing.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think anything is too overly complex with this game.
I think if anything, it could be too light for gamers, not an issue for non-gamers.
It is a lighter game for sure. The box says it's 30 to 60 minutes, and I think maybe a 60-minute game would only be at 5 players when you're playing 5 rounds. But it is a fairly lighter game for sure, but I think there's still enough strategy of trying to figure out which tiles you want to take and when you want to play your bigger tiles to be able to get two, because there's two out there that really work well for you. Or if you have a T-Rex, when you want to use it, knowing that the T-Rex isn't going to do you any good, but maybe it allows you to get that one tile that you really need.
Yeah.
So there are some good meaty decisions that have to be made throughout the game. Has a dinosaur theme to it, but it is a trick-taking game, so how much theme can a trick-taking game have? But I do like the artwork. Yeah. I think the artwork on the mats is nice. Yeah. The tiles are nice, and this is just a prototype too, so I can't wait to see what the final
I like the color
is.
On the black.
Yeah, I agree. So, the game is Sauros. It is from Tangerine Games, and it is coming to crowdfunding here in the very near future, so make sure to check out the link down below in the description of this video, and while you're down there, give us some comments.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notification of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.